What's going on, my friends? This is Bluejacket Bricks, and today for you guys, I finally have a brand new LEGO set review video, and that is LEGO City 60335, the train station. Now, this set came out in December of 22, so it is still a fairly new set. It currently retails for $100 in the US. Not entirely sure about the price elsewhere. It is on the pricey side, although it does have a fairly high piece count with 905 pieces, and with it you get 6 minifigures, 2 vehicles, the train station itself, as well as a strip of track and a railroad crossing, and a little bit of the new LEGO City road plates. So without further ado, let's get started with the minifigures. And as I said earlier, you get 6 minifigures with this set, which is really awesome. So you get a barista, a bus driver, a female train passenger, a male railroad worker, a female train dispatcher, and a young boy. And starting with the barista, who bears an uncanny resemblance to the up-and-coming rapper Young Gravy. If you guys do not know who I'm talking about, look him up and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. But we have I believe that's a new hairpiece in the color blonde. And looks pretty nice. It's kind of like not really like a mullet, but also kind of is. And then that's an older face that I actually haven't seen for a while, so I'm happy that they didn't completely discontinue it. And then he is wearing a white button-up shirt underneath that green apron, which, as you guys can see, also goes down to his legs, which has a brown pocket and brown harnesses or belts, or I don't know what those are actually called, I'm sorry. And then if we turn him over, there is back printing, as you can see, where the apron just wraps around him from the back. Next up, we have the very cheerful bus driver lady, who has some very nice ginger hair, a beaming smile, a nice blue kind of like vest suit kind of thing, with a interesting looking tie. It doesn't look to be like completely neat, but it is very interesting, and she has a few pockets on there as well with a little bit of papers in them. I'm assuming those are bus tickets that she has collected. And then her little name badge with some black pants, white sleeves. And then if we turn her over, she does have a little bit of back printing, which is more or less just the creases of her vest. Then we have the female train passenger with some dark brown hair, orange glasses, a very gentle smile, and then a kind of fall-styled sweater with orange and yellow detailing. And she is wearing blue jeans as well, which is pretty interesting. I wasn't expecting them to go all out with the printed leg pieces. And if you turn her over, she does have back printing. But wait, that's not all. I can't get it off. 1 second. Aha, there we go. The power of editing. She does have a second face, which is hidden by her hair. It is looking a bit more concerned. Not entirely sure why, because the box doesn't exactly indicate why she would be worried, but I'm assuming it has to do with that nuisance child of hers. Speaking of that little rascal, here he is with his dirty blonde hair and his 2 teeth sticking out like SpongeBob. He is looking quite happy and excited, and he has a very interesting shirt, which is a pink and yellow tie-dye. I really like that, actually. And then he also has the blue child legs that do not move. And then if you turn him over, there's more of the tie-dye on the back. And just like his mother, he has a second face, which isn't exactly a scared one. He just looks more like in awe, which I'm assuming is towards the train that is coming to pick him up. This is probably his first time taking the train. Next up is the railroad worker, who has the new color of hard hat, as well as his high visibility vest, which looks awesome, and also that kind of like teal blue undershirt, as well as dark blue pants. he looks like he enjoys his job. And I also forgot to mention he has his little walkie-talkie there on the front. And if you turn it, if you turn him onto his side, you can see he actually has an earpiece or hearing aid. Don't know exactly what that is, but we'll assume it's a hearing aid because it looks like one. And then on the back, oh my gosh, there is, of course, back printing, and his walkie-talkie is there as well, which I thought is a very nice detail. And last but not least, for the minifigures, we have the train dispatcher, who has a nice dark blue ball cap on, as well as it being a mix of a hairpiece as well, with her ponytail sticking out the back. I'll show you guys when I turn it over in just a second. But she has a nice blue tidy suit and tie on, and dark blue pants, and she has one of those paddles with the red light on it to tell the train to stop. And then turn her over. You guys can see it has the same back printing as the bus driver. Slightly different shade of color, and then of course you can see her ponytail sticking through the back of her hair, or back of her hat there, sorry. Here we have the railroad repair vehicle, which includes a little trailer and a porta potty. It's a cute little build, just a nice orange work truck with, of course, the retractable rail wheels, so then that way it could drive on the tracks. And then it also has a little flatbed in the back with a crane and bucket for presumably the worker to fix the little lamps that are there at the station. And then if we swing it around to the front, the license plate says IP 30393. If you guys didn't know, although I'm pretty sure it's common knowledge by now, but those letters are the designer initials. And since there are two vehicles, there are two different initials, which I'll show you once I get to the bus. So there's that, and of course the wheels, which I'll demonstrate. They move up and down, although they're a little bit tricky at this angle. And then up top, he has some orange lights. And as with any Lego City vehicle, the roof is removable for playability. And in it, sorry, the lighting isn't that good. I need a better spot to do this. There isn't actually like a seat, but there's kind of like an indicator of where one would be, with that blue slope piece with no studs on it, and then the blue steering wheel. Now there are no doors, which is interesting. I feel like they definitely could have put some doors here because they're about the same dimensions as where the doors, or what the doors are. So, but then here's the bucket, or the trash can, with the a gray shovel, a brown broom, and there's also a black hammer there, which you can't see very well, and then a little wrench. Then of course the little bucket raises up. It doesn't go up super high because it isn't super long, but that is okay. I can't imagine he's working in very many high places there on the railroad. Sorry, okay, that hair's not going anywhere, I guess. And then the little trailer, which does detach, although I'm not a fan of how it attaches. Whoops. There it goes. It's just like very loose. But this is a piece I'm unfamiliar with, which I guess makes it easier to attach and detach, but I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of it. But that's just me. So anyway, to the porta potty, which has a nice little toilet logo there, in case someone wouldn't know what it would be otherwise. I mean, hey, someone could think it's a TARDIS or something, I don't know. And of course it detaches from the little wagon itself, which there you can see. You can put your own stuff there if you want, although I'm not entirely sure why it doesn't come with anything else. And then there is another hitch at the back there, so I guess it's interchangeable which way you want to have it. although again, not entirely sure what would connect there because nothing else comes with it. Now, as for the porta potty, which is probably my favorite mini build of this, of course it's blue on all sides, but if you open up the door, you can see there's actually a toilet there, and what do you know, minifigures can poop. Uh-oh, looks like he doesn't have any more toilet paper. Hope he figures that out. And then there's also a button there, which I assume would be, it's supposed to be like a flush button, but porta potties don't have those, so I'm not entirely sure what that is. It could be maybe like a soap dispenser or something. I don't know. But that's it for the porta potty on that. And then I will demonstrate reconnecting it. If it will go back in focus, it's not going to, but you guys can see it well enough. So that is the little work truck. And then here we have the bus, which to me is a huge selling point of this set for me. Mainly because we don't get too many Lego City buses. They're fairly spread out, and overall, it's just good to have more buses, you know? Especially if you're trying to build like a big city with a very dense, like urban area. It's always good to have buses, and especially like different colored buses. I'm not entirely sure why it is wiggling like that. Oh, I see why. Anyway, moving up to the front, says right there, LP 60335. That is, once again, the set number and initials. And wait a second, I just realized that the work truck has a different number on it. That's interesting. Not entirely sure what that's about. But anyways, up at the top, it has the transit symbol with town center. I'm assuming that is a reference to the new downtown set that is coming out in August. If you guys haven't seen that, I have videos of it on the channel if you guys want to check it out. It looks really awesome, and I can't wait for it to come out. Then moving along to the side, it says 43. This is bus number 43. Front door opens, of course. Has to, it's a bus. And then we also have this new double door piece, which I really like. It is 6 studs wide. So each door is 3 studs wide. And I feel like this is something that LEGO should have done a while ago, especially with some of their sets, so then that way you could easily make some buildings with these double doors. I just think that's awesome. And then this green button here, which I'm assuming is more of like a handicap button of sorts, maybe just to open the doors or something. I'm not entirely sure. I do kind of wish that it wasn't yellow right there. I think it maybe should have been at least black. But I guess it makes it stand out more, especially if it is in fact a handicap button. Maybe it's for not really visually impaired, but you guys get what I'm saying, hopefully. And then coming to the back, we have a nice, stop moving. We have a nice little bike rack with a yellow bicycle and a blue helmet on there. And then how that racks on is you lift it up and it just hangs there by the stand. So, whoops, slide it back in, clicks in nicely. So it is quite secured. Get out, okay. And then it says 43 at the back there again. And a nice little advertisement that says fresh. Don't think they're talking about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I said French King. French King, hello? It's very late, I'm tired. And then it also says 43 at the top there, if I haven't said that already. But if you guys didn't know, that's a reference to the grocery store, which has already been discontinued, funny enough, because it wasn't doing well. And then, of course, you got the the brake light, the turn signal, and a reverse light, which is very awesome. And then this side, it's pretty bare bones except for like this little grill here, which there's also one on the other side. So, and of course you got the rear view mirrors. I do think it's kind of weird that the lights are on the bottom part there instead of the top. I've thought about changing it, but at the same time I also kind of like it. And like any Lego City vehicle, it does open up, but I'm going to cut real quick so then that way you guys don't have to see it. Oh gosh. So the roof does come off in 3 sections, as you guys can see. And then inside the bus, we have, of course, a seat for the driver and a little bus fare kind of computer thing there. I don't really know what they're called. And then it says Town Center right there, so that way it'll update when it's going somewhere else so the passengers can get off. There's 2 seats right here. This lower area here, which I'm assuming is for wheelchairs. I think that would have been an interesting, or something that they should have included in this set, was wheelchairs. But then again, I believe the passenger train set has a minifigure in a wheelchair, so maybe that's how it ties into it. And if so, that is genius. And then we got 4 more seats back here, although these back seats can only fit 1 minifigure at a time, which is a little disappointing, but it is what it is. And last but not least, we have the train station in its wonderful glory. Now this train station is not as big as the previous one, although I'm not complaining about it because I do like the build overall. Has a nice big open platform area with some nice decor, including a tree with some flowers growing on it, an ATM, a interesting looking bench, as well as a mural on the wall, and then a cute little Twitter bird there off to the side, some more flowers and stuff, and then of course the main building with a cafe and ticket area, as well as a little control box there at the top. Now this is something I probably should have done earlier, and that is use the flashlight on my phone to make better lighting, well, slightly better lighting. But so now, as we take a closer look at the actual train station, you can see what I'm talking about. And over here you have a little bike rack for someone who just wants to ride their bicycle, presumably the barista, because he's the only one who has a bicycle in this set. So he can leave it there and come to work. And then, of course, he parks it under a nice little tree with some flowers and beautiful pink leaves growing on top of it. Underneath it, like I said, you got the Twitter bird. Not sure what he's doing. Might be getting on the train to Birdington. But I'm not one to assume things. And we have a nice little bench right here with a green seat and another advertisement for the grocery store. And then we have an ATM, or it could be a train ticket dispenser for people who do not want to see someone in person. Can't really blame them. I'm an introvert myself. Don't really like dealing with people, but you know the deal. Then we have some more leaves up here with, it looks like a cherry hanging down from a little blossom. Cherry blossom. Then over here we have a nice colorful mural. I actually really liked this build. I've never done something like this before, especially with instructions. Now, it was a little bit hard to get the colors right because in the instructions, the colors were a bit washed. So I just kind of had to pay attention to what was darker. I promise you guys I'm not colorblind. It's just actually the instructions were failing me there. And what's nice is we have a ramp instead of some stairs. And honestly, if you really want to, you can do that and then prop it up there at the back, so then that way you have a bit more platform room. And this is also perfect for if you want to actually make the station into a modular and have it complete at the back instead of have it being open-ended. But it's entirely up to you. I'm going to leave it as a ramp just because it looks cool that way. And then I absolutely love this design here. And what it is just a big skylight covering the bench, and not really the whole platform, because as you guys can see, it doesn't hang over it completely, but that's okay. It looks really cool. I love how it was done and how they designed it to be sideways instead of just I don't know, with the studs facing upwards, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it, I'm sorry. And coming over here, we have the entrance to the cafe with, again, the 6-stud double doors there. And we have a lamp, a sign that says Town Center, ETA 2 minutes, with a nice little clock there, letting you know when the train is due to arrive. Another lamp here, nice big open window looking into the cafe. Another set of double doors leading into the ticketing area, which is pretty cool. And then again, we have the skylights up here. I just love how it carries flawlessly without any real transition into the building itself. Just really love how that looks. Then up here we have the little control room area where the dispatcher sits, and a nice railroad sign up here with, you guessed it, a skylight. Around the back, you don't really have a whole lot special on this side other than a nice big window to peek at someone from behind sitting on the bench. Don't know why you'd want to do that, but it's there in case you want to. And then, of course, the ramp itself. I'm assuming this is just a walkway leading you up to this, and then you could expand the building back this way if you really wanted to. So in here is just the entrance to the cafe area. We do have a little display case over here, and just a croissant there, nothing really special. And then we have this interesting looking coffee machine. I really like how this was designed with the like the pressure and temperature dials and indicators there. I really like how that was done. Although I kind of wish it included, instead of like a red coffee mug, the actual like to-go cups, because I know they definitely have them. So they're more of like a rare piece. I feel like that'd have been more fitting for the train station versus a coffee mug. I don't know, unless this is a specialty coffee mug that you can only get here. I don't know. And then over here, it's kind of hard to see behind the pillars, which that is a small complaint I have. But I guess it also makes sense given like the design of it. You have a little keypad there where you can put in your card info and whatever. And then, of course, a little ticket there, which I don't feel like taking out, I'm sorry. And then inside over here on this wall, you have the rail network map. So just a little area where you can come and buy your train tickets. And I almost forgot to mention, on this side, there is a found cat poster. Yay! And then looks like some peel off like phone numbers there. So there's that. And then coming up here to the control room, pretty big area with a nice big window looking out onto the tracks. I also love this brick design. I think this was genius, especially on the outside here where it looks like wood paneling, but on the inside it's just brick. Like, I really love that. And there's more of it that I forgot to point out below around the seating area on the platform. But in here you have a tan chair that does swivel, a red coffee mug sitting dangerously close to all these presumably very important controls. Not entirely sure what they are, but as much as I want to push all the buttons, I don't think I should. And as with any Lego City train station, you do get a generous amount of straight train track, and you also get a new piece for the train line, which I've also noticed made an appearance in the new Hogwarts Express set, and it is these sort of like road to track transition pieces, which I think these are really awesome, especially for helping you connect or actually get your trains on the track. So let me demonstrate, for example. So you can just have it sit anywhere here, but then as you do that, it forces the wheels into place, and I really like that. So you can have that at the end of your track, maybe like a siding, so then that way you're not struggling to line up the train wheels with the track. So I think that's really awesome. You get another one on this side as well, which is really dang cool. And as I mentioned earlier, you do get a level crossing and some of the new road plates. Honestly, with these being my first road plates that I've actually put together, they're not too bad. I still have my complaints about them, but I do think they have their uses, and this is definitely one of them. And then we get these little slope pieces that lead onto them. And then the level crossing itself is pretty cool looking. It's very simple and nowhere near as big as the one set that came out back in, I believe it was 2011, which I do have somewhere. But of course the crossing gates do go up and down with the red warning lights there. So this is great playability. And I do also like that they incorporated that there is actually more of like a ramp. Kind of hard to, I guess this is the best way to show it, where as you're driving, so many of you, I'm sure, have been over train tracks before, but when you go over them, there's like a bump. So there's that. I think that was a cool little thing to include. I'm not entirely sure if that was intentional or if that's just what they were going for. But either way, this crossing looks awesome. And you do get a little bit of like leaves and stuff just laying on the ground there. But yeah, so now to wrap up this review. Overall, this is a very fabulous addition to the Lego City train line. A very nice looking train station with an assortment of minifigures and 2 vehicles, as well as a level crossing and some road plates. Again, it is on the pricey side, $100 in the US. I do wish it were more in the $70 to $80 range, because to me that's what it's worth. Although at the same time I can't complain, because it is a very nice set. And if you are like me and likes to collect trains, this is perfect for if you want to have a very vast rail network in your city, or if you just like to make train layouts around your house like some people do. You can have various stops for your trains. Now, I do have the express passenger train, which came out in the same wave. I do not have it put together yet, but once I have it put together, I will be reviewing it, and I will review it with this set included in the train loop. But overall, I give this set a 9 out of 10. My only complaints being I wish the building maybe were a little bit bigger, or perhaps an extra wagon for this work truck. But other than that, I love this set, and I am happy to review it for you guys. So leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to check out my other videos, and I will see you guys later.